Namaste, Lisa.
Namaste, Vino. Yeah,
How are
I
you
was
doing?
I was very interested in what you were saying about how you were reading my energy. Were you doing that every day?
Hmm.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
So
Yeah.
we will get started with. So we want to hear from you. It is a really big day for you. Thanks for coming in. So you can tell about the old Lisa, how it was, what happened in this healing journey, and what is the new Lisa, and where are you going? So in this process, what helped you, what you really liked, what you like to share. Please go ahead.
Okay. Um, well, I really liked from the beginning meeting you and knowing that how sincere you were and how you told me right away that you had asked for someone with a cancer concern or diagnosis to come into your practice. And then I showed up, I guess, 2 days after you asked for that. And
So what
I
was your old Lisa?
well, I mean, it's hard for me to say that I am completely a new person, but maybe that is something I can't see. But I was very, 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 very anxious. I had just been through um, cancer, very tiny amount of cancer, but I had just had that diagnosis 7 or 8 months before, and now I was faced with a new biopsy in my other breast, which and I just lost. I felt like I had finally gotten past all of the um, drama of the previous 7 months, and here I was faced with the possibility of a whole other area of cancer, and who knows. And it's a very anxious process to go through that just because of all of the tests and figuring out what it is and what the treatment is. And I was imagining chemotherapy. I was imagining having a mastectomy. I was imagining dying, like being on, like slowly dying from this, having things spread all through my body, um, and just never feeling like I could move past this scary diagnosis. And I felt, but I also have studied and learned how cancer and these diseases begin at an energetic level. And I believe that strongly, but there's so much fear that is overpowering from the Western medicine model that it's hard to have total faith that you have the ability within you to clear out any energy blockages or any problem areas.
So, okay. When did you start understanding, understand that energy field really works? And how did you land to me? Do you have any idea what happened in that process?
How did I learn to you? How did I learn about you?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, well, I have um, been learning about energy and alternative healing um, for many years. Mo Largely, I would say in the past 13, 14 years, when I have started to learn of people's near-death experiences and uh, from my own interest and my own project, like a side project I've worked on, exploring all of the alternative views, or more, I guess, more Eastern views, but it's also, they call it New Age, kind of mystical views of how the body works, how disease begins. And so for a long time, I've been interested, and I've read many books, and
Okay.
but I this time, faced with a new biopsy, I really wanted to find a healer that I could work with one-on-one and in person, and in this area where I could, meet someone locally. And I basically Googled for I think it was maybe best Reiki healing in New Mexico.
Mhm.
I can't remember exactly the words I chose, but
Okay.
Reiki or alternate or energy healer probably.
Okay.
And then I came across your name, or your business name, Maitri Healing, or Maitri Healer,
Mhm.
and all the reviews were excellent. And I was interested. I wanted to know more. And I think maybe it was a combination. I like how you combine different modalities. You have Indian and Ayurvedic.
Mhm.
That might actually, now that I think of it, it was also that you had a connection to the Ayurvedic master uh, who, and I've just forgot his name, but he
Dr.
was
Lad.
here in Van Lod.
Yeah.
Yes,
Dr.
yes,
Lad.
yes. And I had years before, I had actually worked a little bit on some video editing for that organization. And I also sort of believe in, synchronicities, and I felt like that was sort of a sign that maybe I was meant to cross, where our paths were meant to cross. And so I contacted you, and you were available, um, and I was very, very grateful that you were able to
Okay.
bring
So
me
how
in. And
was the journey? So this journey included in-person as well as remote healing, right?
yes, yeah,
So how was your journey? First time visit and then remote healing, how it was progressing?
yeah. So the first visit, I it was very, I felt good. I felt like you were the real thing. I felt like you were very dedicated. I could tell that you sincerely wanted to help me.
Mm.
And I also really liked the different, like I said, the different modalities. Um, I liked the mantras and the saying the prayers. I liked that you also had um, like you had tuning forks, and you had um, a device that you said was a quantum healing unit or something. And I can't say that I really understand exactly what quantum healing is.
Mhm.
But I like that I can tell you're a scientist also. You're a healer and a scientist. And I like knowing that there's, someone who has like a solid feet on the ground and connection to this realm, not just kind of floating around in the stratosphere. You're grounded. You're practical as well as connected to higher dimensions, and that's what I felt. And um,
So did
uh,
you make any diet change in this process?
I did. I mean, I will say I mean, I don't I give you a lot of credit, but I was also looking everywhere and desperate to
Okay.
try everything. And I've been over this past month or so, I've been eating mostly salads and fresh vegetables and
High pranic food, high energy food. Okay.
yeah. Lots of read about, the best kinds of anti-cancer foods, and been eating a lot of broccoli sprouts, drinking a lot of matcha green tea, and I cut out coffee almost completely, which is a big deal for me.
Okay.
And then I also, somewhere along the line, I was eating watermelon, and then I decided to look up watermelon nutrition and learned that there actually is a lot in watermelon that is anti-cancer fighting. And I learned that the rind of the watermelon is very healthy. So I started eating watermelon rinds, started eating a lot of cucumbers, and read that there's actually a lot of studies examining a molecule or several chemical molecules, whatever, in melons and cucumbers and that family.
Okay.
And sorry, I'm going off, but
Yeah.
bitter melon was my big discovery, was that I think that might have also been helping a lot. So
Okay.
I found that.
So you, on your own, you tried all these things. So that is good to know. How that's a starting point of going towards nature, right? So how about walking in nature, spending time outdoors? Do you do anything of that in this process?
I did. I wasn't able to be walking on the ground as much as I wanted to. My backyard has a lot of goat heads, and
Okay.
uh, and I was walking in the park, um, but there's a lot of dog poop around, so I had to be
Okay.
careful. But I did walk.
For you to walk. Okay.
Yeah, but I did try to do that when I could, and I like to be in nature, so I would go on hikes every so often.
Awesome.
Um, yeah.
So when the healing started, right, it's not even almost 30 days, no, 33 days. We started our first meeting, right? So how was your sleep pattern? How was your appetite change? How did you see the progress? What did you feel internally?
Um, yeah, I guess I was sleeping better. I still sometimes have sleep problems, and I still did a bit during this time, but I think it was improved. Um, and also, and my appetite, I think, actually, yeah, I think I wasn't wanting to eat that much. I mean, I was mainly just trying to eat only for nutrition. Like, I was really trying to be aware. I wasn't perfect, but much of the time that was all I wanted to do, was to just whatever I could put in my body that would be helpful in this process was all I was interested in.
Okay. So there was a gentle changes happening, subtle changes happening. So you are not able to notice it. But let's go to so this process was going remote healing and your diet and everything was going, all the meditations, guided meditations. So
Yeah.
how much time you spent on the guided meditation?
So I loved the guided meditation. Um, you made one meditation for me, which was wonderful. And um, I think at first you were saying that I should do that twice a day. So I would do that usually in the morning and then before bed. And Yeah, I actually should find my notebook because I was making notes, but often, I would be telling myself, oh, I'll do that later, or I have so many things to do, I don't need to do that right now, or what, or just really in my head. And then when I'd sit down and listen, I immediately almost, sometimes even just your first words
Mm-hmm.
greeting me,
Mm-hmm.
put me into this other state like instantly. And I was just kind of remembering, oh, this is really important to do. Um, and I was always put in a different state through that. I was always felt lighter. I felt much more connected to the bigger picture and the whole universe. I felt like the healing was in my power. I could make that happen. And your words about being supported by my ancestors, by angels, by divine energy, all of that felt so good. It felt, and being reminded that I'm not alone was really, really powerful. And then the music, yeah, I respond well to guided meditation usually, but this was really powerful for me. And every time I would come out of it and feel very different from when I started. So
Okay. So we planned for 90 days. So your test was happening around 30th day. So I wanted to give time, but you wanted to get it done sooner. You told, I got this exam coming up, test coming up, do something. That's what I was hearing. So I was trying to do whatever best I can. We planned for 90-minute session, but we were able to do only 1 hour on the day because of late and other things. So that session, I was able to feel that you become really lighter and
mm,
a lot of energy movement shift has happened on that
mm,
day. So that's what you were talking about, the tuning fork and other things.
yeah. Yeah, the tuning fork and the sujok.
Yeah. Hmm?
Um, yeah, I liked that too. And uh yeah, I like how you incorporate these different types of healing. You're not using just one um, you know,
Methodology. Mhm.
Ayurvedic or
Mhm.
yeah. Um, but and a lot of it was getting the text from you each morning saying you've done the healing. It just felt so good. I felt like I had someone with me
Mhm.
in this journey because it's even if people are very supportive in my life, they don't really know what to do or they don't really know exactly what I'm going through. But having you every day just was a really nice thing to have, to feel like someone is invested in me and me healing. It's powerful and I'm grateful.
I hear you like guided meditation and daily remote healing and texting to you, as well as sujok therapies. So there are many things we applied. So if you want to rank 1, 2, 3, how do you rank? What do you like the most?
Oh, and I should add when you said that I should write down what I envision my doctor giving good results. I
Mhm.
did that, and then I made one page with just the word benign all over the page, and then I put that up on my bed, on my bathroom mirror,
Mhm.
and that also was I think very good to just see it concretely. Ranking. That is so hard to
Okay,
uh
that's
that's
okay.
hard.
You liked everything. So let's
Yeah,
keep it. So
yeah,
let's go to the climax, right? You had a doctor appointment for the testing. Right? So
yeah.
after we did that 1 hour deep session. That was the deepest cleaning happened on that day on the energy side. And then you showed up for the test. So you can share a few things after that, what happened.
Okay. Um, well, I mean, there's constantly this anxiety that just building. So it was good to have the counterbalance of you reassuring me that it's going to be okay. And I was trying to keep that in my mind too. And you even told me, you're clear, go in there, be confident, you're okay, you're supported. It just was very helpful for me because my fear can overtake everything. But I went in, and before it started, I was talking to the radiologist, and I said, if by any chance you don't find anything, are you going to keep like looking everywhere? And I think he didn't know what I was talking about, and he just said, no, I mean, we're looking for it, and yeah, we're, he didn't really answer, but so they went in, and it was supposed to be an ultrasound guided biopsy. I went in for that. There was one assistant there who was initially trying to find the location of this problem area. And I could tell she couldn't really find it. And then the radiologist walked in, and I heard her sort of whispering to him in the back. And I thought, what's going on? And then there were, I think, there was a doctor who came in, and then there was some other guy who was, I guess, a student or something. But they kept trying to find this problem area. Actually, it was before the radiologist was trying to look himself. He asked me, have you been getting chemotherapy since your diagnosis 7 months ago? I said, no. And he said, have you done any other treatments? I said, no, not your kind of treatments. and and then they were trying to find it, and they said, well, it might just be the position, but we're just not quite finding that spot. So they said, so get dressed, we're gonna go talk about this. So we talked, and he said, we couldn't find it through the ultrasound, we're gonna try with the mammogram to do the biopsy. And I said, okay. Inside, I was thrilled. I thought, oh, maybe they're just not going to find this. Maybe I just made it go, or Vino and I and my all the work that I've been doing has made this kind of disappear. But unfortunately, I did go in to do the mammogram, and they did find like an area, like a shaded area, I guess, that was corresponded to what they had found almost 2 months before. So they did that biopsy. So once again, I was in this excruciating, agonizing place of, oh my God, I can't, what am I going to do if this is going to be cancer again? And what is going on with me? And how am I going to, and going far down that path of like, what am I going to do? And I'm going to have to take time off work, and I'm going to have surgeries, and like, and all week I was anticipating the phone call, and I got completely freaked out because the nurse called when I wasn't able to take the call, and her message was just call back. And I'm like, that is not a good sign. So I was just, I'm a very anxious person, as maybe you can tell. So I was with my family over the weekend on Saturday. I couldn't even listen actually to the voicemail. I knew she had called, and I couldn't listen, and I couldn't build up the courage to look in the My Chart because I just felt like I couldn't handle bad news. So I waited for my sister to be with me on Saturday. And I learned that the voicemail was just give me a call. And what was it? Oh, then I went into the My Chart and I saw that there was a message from the nurse that we had just been answering a question I had, and she said the results aren't in yet, but they'll be showing up under the pathology. So then I realized, okay, I panicked again for not good reason. There wasn't, there were no results yet. I think I was finally like I had finally overdone it, and I'm maxed out on my own anxiety, and I just was like that on Sunday I was fairly calm. I was like, what else can I do? Freaking out is not really being helpful at this time. So I actually slept pretty well last night, Sunday night. And just said, okay, whatever happens, happens. I, of course, was a little anxious. And then I get my morning text from Vino saying, you are protected. You said, healing day, whatever day it was, is complete. You are protected. And that was just a really great message once again, to feel like, okay, I don't have to go down the darkest path in my head. I can really hold the possibility that everything is okay. I can stay with that possibility. And then I got a call from that nurse, and I thought, oh man, I'm gonna see the doctor in half an hour, and I don't want to know that I have cancer a minute before I have to know. So, and she just said right away, she said, well, you don't have cancer, or it's not cancer. And I was like, oh my God, that's all I needed to hear. Thank you. And she read off the report, which included a lot of weird little things that were going on, cellular things going on, but nothing too concerning. And so I went in, saw the doctor, and yeah, it's I mean, my journey isn't over according to, Western oncology. I have to be checked every 6 months. They're always going to be looking for something. But I really need to build up that ability to stay in the positive space and not completely dwell in the worst case scenario all the time. I recognize that it's a ongoing journey for me, and I need a lot of support. But Vino, you understood that, and you said the right things, and I wanted to tell you as soon as I could. So, because I'm so grateful.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing. From my perspective, what I understood is your divine love to the energy. You strongly trust, had a faith in energy. That's what is the first thing. And second thing, you followed. It's a really a tough job. I never seen people like this before this scenario, but this is a new scenario for me. I just prayed, done all the healing work as per the science, the neuroscience, parasympathetic nervous system, sympathetic nervous system, all the manifestation and multiple modalities. You were sincerely following it. So I was just a guide on this process, but you are the true person who did it. Okay. So
Well,
congratulations to you. I'm
thank
really
you.
happy for you. We will continue our 90-day plan as we discussed. We'll continue on that. If I need to do these kind of things so that other people can get benefited, right? Few people may understand energy, few people may not understand energy. if you want to recommend to other people, what you would say?
Mm. Yeah, I think you are a wonderful counterbalance to the fear that can overpower someone when they're facing a medical issue, of a serious medical issue. And in the Western model of medicine, you sort of feel like you're at the mercy of these doctors and professionals, and you're taken into their facility, and then you give up all of your power, and it's them, and they are going to like look through their microscope, look at every cell in your body, and it's almost like they want to find disease, because of course then they can treat it. But that act of looking so closely for disease, in my view, creates so much anxiety that the body can then create disease, because it's just, for someone like me, it's almost scarier than even having the disease, is the search for the disease. That's my experience. And what you do is you are reminding the person that their body has powers, that their body has a power to turn it around, to sort of reclaim the power, and know that they do have the ability to heal. And it's not only within their body, it's also the support of so many beings, so many forces around them, that the Western world thinks is ridiculous to believe in. And yet I know, I feel that that there is more around us, and energies flowing through us, and I know that it's on levels that we can't see in this physical reality, but that there is energy, there's an energy field. And I honestly believe that the emotions, the state of mind, has a huge effect on the health, on our health. And what you were doing was helping you tap into that, helping you reconnect with that understanding that you're more, as you've said in the meditation, you're more than your body, and you are connected to more than what we're led to believe. It's very empowering. And so it ends up being, for me, it's kind of funny when I then encounter these doctors who aren't gonna, they're gonna think that I'm a lunatic, talking about how, well, if you can't find it, are you gonna keep looking for it? And they don't know what I'm talking about. And then they experience that with me in their first test. And I'm sure I tried to talk to them about, some of the things I've done just diet wise, and still it's kind of like they look at you like, well, that's nice. I'm sure that makes you feel good that you're doing that. Anyway, I wish I could organize my thoughts better here, but I think you're bringing people back in touch with their own power to heal. I really thinking you were a true partner with this in this journey. There was no one I would have been able to find who would do this ongoing work with me like you've done. I've found people that will do sessions with me, for a certain amount of time, but you being committed to my whole journey like this and every day doing a little bit of healing on me just really felt like I was not alone in this. And I think it's a very powerful form of healing that you provide.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your transformation. I hope by looking at this, people who were looking for natural remedies for low scenario cases, they may get help on this. Thank you on that.